Welcome to the Earthship. You are renting here, and I'm going to give you a tour of the house and explain all the functions of the house and what your responsibilities are and how you can use the house. You have to open and close vents, check on the power system, you have to check on a few other things. So let's go in and I'll show you what it's all about. We're at the main entrance on the west side of the house, and we walk right into the greenhouse. So the first thing you see is the gray water planter, the windows out the front face, and up here we have the skylight vent box. So the first thing we see here is our windows out the front face. You can open these for ventilation. I like to open them at the end of a hot day to cool off the house. You can close these screens right here. Make sure you use two hands to do it and close them evenly, or else they might bind up and you're protected from the insects. To open and close it, the screen needs to be open. So to close it, just pull it shut and then turn the handle 90 degrees to the left. Now this is completely closed. If you let it half an inch and then close again, it stays open. You're protected from the rain. Rain can't get in, but there's a little bit of ventilation coming through. There's also a vent on the top that does the same thing. This is closed, this is open. So open, you got a little bit of circulation going on. It's good if there's bad weather or if you just want a little bit of a breeze, if maybe it's cold outside and it's a little bit too hot in the house. You can just leave those two things open, you get a little bit of air moving. So there's another one of those windows on the east side of the greenhouse as well. Same exact functionality. This is the gray water planter, and the way this works is when you use the bathroom sink, the washing machine, or the shower or bathtub, that water, when it drains, goes into the gray water planter right over here. It enters into this reception cell where it gets filtered through a pantyhose filter, and then it drops into a 1,200 gallon reservoir that's at the bottom of this planter. Now that reservoir, when you flush the toilet, the water gets pumped to the toilet to fill it. So what we're actually using, the toilet water comes from the planter. It's already been used for washing and bathing. When you flush the toilet, this pump kicks on and pumps water out of the planter through a filter to the toilet. So when we flush the toilet, the pump will kick on. Let's go check it out. This is the sound the pump makes. It stays on for approximately 30-40 seconds. Totally normal. You're gonna hear it. It's part of living in an Earthship. While on the topic of gray water, there is a timer here that turns on a recirculation pump at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. every day. So when that kicks on, you're going to hear this noise. And what that's doing, it's sending water from one end of the planter to the other end of the planter, and it comes into the reception cell right here. So if you hear that noise, don't be surprised. It's just part of the house operating normally. The next thing I want to talk about is the skylight vent box. Now, the whole purpose of the skylight vent box, which is directly above us, is during the daytime, the sun heats up the greenhouse, and if you open that skylight vent box, that hot air escapes through there, creating a natural convection current, which is going to pull from the point of least resistance. So what that pulls from, as long as all the vents and the doors in the house are open or closed properly, are the cooling tubes. So let's first open the skylight vent box. So we got one rope that's held by a cleat right here, and we pull it down and out a little bit to release it from a cam cleat that's up above. Then we go to the second one. And now we do the same thing, but when we release this, we have to be very careful to hold it from opening too fast. The vent's going to want to open pretty quickly. So if we look up there, you can see that cam cleat. When I pull down and out, it clicks out, and then I slowly release. And it stops. So once that's done, I can just throw these ropes right back up on the cleats to keep them out of the way. And now our skylight vent box is open. Next thing we want to do, we want to keep these doors closed. We want to instead open up this operable transom above them. So we can, if you can't reach this little barrel lock right here to release it, you can just grab a step stool that we keep right next to the fridge. Step stool. Okay. So we just release, we can push the transom in a little bit and then release the barrel lock. And then we come over here and we just pull the transom open. Once it's open, we pull down straight through the cam cleat to lock it in an open position. We come inside, I'll show you when that hot air escapes, it's going to pull through this transom from these cooling tubes. One cooling tube is here, and the other cooling tube is on the other side of the fridge. And in the summertime, generally keep these open all the time because it's providing air exchange for the house because there aren't any windows back here in the house. So air comes through here, that hot air escaping out of the greenhouse pulls air through the tube and exchanges the air and also cools the house a little bit. These tubes run through the earth 50 feet, and as that warm air from outside travels through them, it gets cooled by the natural temperature of the earth, which is around 56 degrees. So it does come out a little bit cooler. These doors can be opened or closed, like so, and they're insulated doors. So in the wintertime, we just keep them closed. Now, as you can see, it's starting to rain. I'm glad it's raining right now because rain will come into the house. I'm standing under the skylight vent box and it's raining on me right now. We don't want this. So anytime it rains or anytime you leave the house, all the windows must be closed. So first thing I'm going to do is close the skylight vent box. Start with just reverse the operation here. So pull it closed through that cam cleat and let it lock. And now I go to the other rope and I pull this one shut just a little bit more. Boom, through that cam cleat, and now they're both locked. And then just put the ropes right back up where they were on the cam cleats. Now, make sure that the front face windows are also closed every time you leave or anytime it rains. And if you want ventilation while it's raining, you can leave the doors open because there are protected alcoves outside the doors and the rain does not come inside. Let's go out the east exit real quick and I will just show you the patio and the clothesline. In case you decide to do a load of laundry, come right out on this patio here. And there's gravel out even a little bit further, so this is like a nice place to sit, enjoy the evening. And right out there, through a gravel path, you can get to the clothesline. And that's where you dry your clothes. Clothes dry really quick here in Taos. Out in the sun, even in the wintertime when it's close to freezing, clothes dry quicker than most people are used to. All right, so here we are in the kitchen. I got a big kitchen with an island and lots of counter space. We got a stove, an oven range that I want to show you how to light. The range works just like you're used to. You just go to light, and there you go. The oven lights a little bit differently, and the reason why is because this is a battery ignition. It uses AA batteries to ignite. It doesn't use the 300 watt glow bar, and it doesn't use electricity plugged in for a heating element. It's propane gas with a battery ignition. So the way you need to do this is you push this dial in for the oven, and you go to pilot, and you hold it in for 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you turn it to the desired temperature. And just make sure that it's lit. If you want to just double check by just checking in the broiler, you can see that the propane is lit down there. And that's all you want to make sure of. So it just works a little bit differently to light the oven than your normal stove. This guy right here is a powerful outside exhaust range hood. So it's got a light, which is on right now. Whoops. It's got a little nighttime setting and then bright. And it's also got a fan, variable speed. That's high, all the way down to low. And this exhausts outside, and if you're cooking something smoky, takes all the smoke out of the room real quick. Really nice. Fully stocked kitchen, pots, pans, dishes, silverware, lots of utensils for cooking, everything you need. We also should have coffee here with a bean grinder and a French press. Got a double sink right here. Sorry for the dirty dishes. We're literally just wrapping up construction today. We just literally cleaned this place up 2 seconds before we started filming. Double sink. This is your normal hot water, cold water. This guy comes out, and there is a spray attachment on the button there. This right here is your drinking water. And you can take it right out of the tap, or I usually keep a 1 gallon jug in the fridge filled up for cold water, and that is in the fridge for everyone to use. If you want to fill it up like a gallon jug, you can just turn this up, and you can be hands-free. And that is water. This is rainwater caught. All this is rainwater. This is filtered through a ceramic filter, and it is safe for drinking. The other thing we have here is there is no kitchen table. It's a studio, so we have a countertop island, bar top on the island, and we got 2 stools. It's great for eating. Abnormally large fridge for an off-grid house. This is a 23 cubic foot stainless steel fridge. So that's where you keep your food cold. Right here, we have a flat screen TV, Blu-ray player, and that has Netflix. It's internet connected. So just make sure before you turn it on that the power strip is on, right behind the TV. Make sure it's in the on position. Here, I'll flick that on again. Once that's on, you take the remote, which should be right next to the television, and this button right here is turning the TV on. This button is turning the Blu-ray player on that also has Netflix. So I start by turning on the TV. And then I turn on the DVD player. And this should come right up. If for some reason this screen does not load, you can hit the source button. This button right here. And you want it to be on HDMI 1/DVI. The only other option is TV, and there's nothing on there. And basically, yeah, you can look through and use what you can log into Pandora here, but you can select Netflix, or you can just hit the Netflix button on the remote right there, and that takes you right into Netflix. Feel free to watch as much Netflix as you want. We have 1.5 megabit internet here, and you can find the password written in the house for the Wi-Fi. That's loading. So right here we have a little wardrobe to hang your clothes. There. We also have the bed, which has drawers underneath it. If we move the rug out of the way, these drawers just slide in and out, and you can store your clothing in there if you like. Okay, so in this closet, we have our circuit breakers, and also called a trimetric monitor. Now the trimetric monitor, the purpose is that it shows you a number from 0 to 100, and that's the percent battery full. We ask you that you do not go below 70%. We also ask you that when you come to the house, you should check this. First thing you should do is check this. And if this thing is relatively close to 70%, you should call Joanna or myself or whomever checked you in, and you should let us know where this is at. We're probably already aware, but if you run the batteries too low, it can affect your security deposit. Most of the time when you're checking in, this should definitely be right near 100%. The reason why this is at 77 right now is because we just had 3 days of constant rain. So if you see this thing low, please let us know and we will tell you what to do about it. If you do not see a whole number here, or it is not between 0 and 100, just hit this button right in the middle called select. Hit it until you see, you don't want the 0 number. A number between 24 something and 28 something is the voltage. You don't want that. You don't want the number that's in the hundreds or a negative number. That's the amount of wattage that's being generated or used. You want the number that's steady, whole, between 0 and 100, and that is the percentage. Also, you can see right here, there's the little percent full LED is lit, so you know that you're on the percent battery full there. This closet right here is the on-demand water heater. There's nothing you need to know about or do with that. And inside this closet right here is the pressure tank that regulates water pressure in the house. Nothing you need to deal with in there. Right here we have our washing machine, which you are welcome to use. We have extra towels, laundry detergent, and fabric softener, which you can use in the washing machine right here. Your fabric softener goes here, your detergent goes here. It is a high efficiency washer, so you really only need to put just up to usually number 1 on the cup. It's very little. And this thing, generally leaving it on normal is totally fine. You just press start, and then you open this guy up. You put your clothes in, close it, hit start again, and that's it. When it's done, you hang up your clothes on the clothesline outside. Okay, this here is our what's called the water organization module. This is where all the water, all the rainwater that gets caught off the roof and it's stored in the cisterns behind the house, buried. This is where it all comes in. So you got water coming in here. This is the main, and then you got a pump that pressurizes the system. Then you got these 2 filters, which are for domestic water for washing. And then you have these 2 filters, which are for drinking water. And like I said, this is your ultimate ceramic candle filter. Basically, it's like pushing water through a rock. And water tastes great. When you use water, this pump is going to kick on, and you're going to hear it. So let me just turn the water on so you can hear what that sounds like. When the pressure gets down to 30 psi, the pump kicks on and pumps it back up to 50 psi. So right now, we're about 34 psi, running the water, and as soon as it gets to 30, it'll kick on. There it goes. And that's going to pump back up to 50. So this is a normal sound. This is the sound of the pump. You're going to hear it when you're using water. When the door is closed, when the door is closed, it's not so bad. Welcome to the bathroom. Okay, that was stupid. All right, so this is the bathroom. We have normal sink, soap. We got the toilet. Now, the thing you need to know about the toilet is, for number 1, you flush just once like this, and you let go. That does a low flow flush. It's about, I think it's like 0.6 gallons, something like that. And for number 2, please hold the lever down for several seconds until you hear the flushing stop, like this. And that's it. That ensures that the septic system does not get clogged up and that everything continues flowing smoothly. So as I mentioned before when talking about the gray water planter, the water that fills the toilet comes from the planter, and it does have a slight smell. So when you smell something a little funky in the air in the bathroom, don't be worried. It's just the smell of the gray water. It's not going to hurt you. It's just something that generally you just get used to. It's really not that bad. The shower right here, we have a step up into a bathtub. Now this is an extra deep bathtub. It's really nice. We ask, you can take a bath, but you're out in an off-grid house. This is not like a normal house. We ask that you don't consume too much water and you don't consume too much electricity. It's fine to take a shower. It's even fine to take a bath, but just maybe not a bath every single day. Quick showers, if you're going to take a shower every day, would be really good. We have 3,400 gallons here at most, and we're dependent upon rainwater, and there's only 8 inches of rain in Taos per year. So just try to conserve, but also try to enjoy yourself as well. Standard bath and shower. We have here a flagstone seat at the end. It's just a nice, large space to shower in or to bathe in. We also have this big 5-foot by 5-foot frosted glass window that lets lots of natural light in during the day. It's a really nice time to take a shower. Right now it's nighttime, so there's no light coming through. So Earthships, being passive solar homes, let lots of light in. It's the whole point. They face the south where the sun is, and especially in the wintertime, the sun comes streaming in. Now as soon as the sun rises, it's going to be light in here. So if you're light sensitive and you want to sleep in a little bit later, I have blackout shades. Right now only one is installed, but by the time you're here, all of them will be here. These work very simply. You got 2 strings on the side. One lowers and one raises. So we want to lower, you just pull it all the way down. And if it gets stuck like this, you can just pull it down the rest of the way. So these are insulated blackout shades. They're not going to let any light through. They'll keep it nice and dark in the morning if you like to sleep late. So just to give you a little background on the Earthship. Earthship Biotecture, the company that Michael Reynolds runs, that probably most of you are already familiar with, he started building off-grid homes out of tires, used car tires, aluminum cans, glass bottles, earthen adobe, back probably about 45 years ago now. And this is one of the latest iterations of the Earthship design. This is called the global model. And what we're standing in right now is one of the new additions. It's called the double greenhouse. The older houses didn't have this greenhouse. It was basically just glass and then the living space, and the gray water planters were inside the house. This has a lot of advantages. It keeps pests and insects out of the house, it keeps humidity from the planter outside of the house, and it also creates a buffer of temperature to help keep the house at a steady 70 to 72 degrees all year round, whether it's -20 outside or 95 degrees outside. So it's a passive solar house, hence all the glass. In the wintertime, this angle of glass almost matches the azimuth of the sun in the sky, and the sun comes streaming in all the way about 2/3 into the house. And what that does is it heats up the floor and the walls because it's all thermal mass. The floors are all concrete, they hold temperature. The walls are all rammed earth tires, compacted earth inside tires that we compact with sledgehammers. And all of that is thermal mass that holds heat. So that's what, all that warmth, along with the heavily insulated shell that we're in, is what keeps the house warm all night in the wintertime. Now, in the summertime, to keep cool, the sun is high in the sky, and it only comes into the greenhouse to right around where the planter is. So none of this concrete, none of the floor, none of the walls are being heated. We're also benefiting from passive geothermal because the house is buried in the earth. 3 sides of the house are all buried up to the roof. So what that does is we have the passive temperature. We have the temperature of the earth, which ranges between 54 and 58 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 feet down to the ground. We have that temperature passively radiating through the floors and through the walls, helping to cool the house. And that passive geothermal also helps heat the house, regulate the heat temperature in the wintertime as well. All rainwater is caught off the roof. If you walk out the east entrance and up the stairs, you can take a look at the roof from the path, and you can see that it's all steel ribbed roof where when the rainwater hits, it runs down and gets guttered and gets inputted into the cisterns. And I have two 1,700 gallon cistern tanks that hold all the water for the house. If you walk out of the front of the house and you look at the front face, you can see that I have 7 solar panels up there, only 6 of which I'm using right now, but that's where all the electricity comes from. Now, I am not heating water with the sun. Unfortunately, when I was building the house, I couldn't, they wouldn't let me do it myself, and they wanted to charge me a lot of money, so I decided not to go that route. But my on-demand water heater is highly efficient, uses very little propane. So that basically sums up the entire Earthship. Now you know how it works, you know how to live in it, you know how to work with it. So enjoy yourself.